They lived far from everything. No neighbors, no nearby roads, only open fields, old trees, and the heavy silence of the countryside. The family owned just a few animals, a couple of chickens, an old cow, and a dog that barely barked anymore. The house stood alone, worn by time, surrounded by tall grass that swayed with the wind. Life there was simple, harsh, and lonely. The girl's name was Eleanor. She was quiet, observant, and far too aware of the world for her age. From a very young age, Eleanor felt that the world around her spoke in signs, not loud ones, not obvious ones, but quiet warnings, the kind most people ignored. She learned early how to listen. Her afternoons were always the same. She sat near the window, watching the fields stretch endlessly toward the horizon. The wind bent the tall grass like waves on a silent ocean. Birds passed overhead, and the sun slowly began its descent. That was when she felt it, that sensation, a sudden tightening in her chest, a strange stillness in the air, as if the land itself had stopped breathing. Eleanor turned her head toward the old tree near the fence, the one with twisted branches and no leaves at the top. And there it was, a black cat. Perfectly still, it didn't move, didn't blink, didn't even seem alive. Its fur absorbed the fading light, making it look like a shadow cut out of the world. Its yellow eyes locked onto Eleanor's, unbroken, unafraid. She had never seen that cat before. No one in the family owned a cat. No neighbors lived close enough for one to wander in. Yet there it was, watching her. Eleanor felt cold, even though the evening was warm. She stepped back from the window, her heart beating faster than it should. When she looked again, the cat was gone. That night she waited for her father. Later than usual. The sky had already turned dark when she heard the sound of the truck pulling in. The door opened slowly. Her father stepped inside, looking older somehow, smaller. He sat at the table and spoke softly. Too softly. Doctors, tests, a disease discovered by accident. Something serious. Her mother covered her mouth. Silence filled the room. Eleanor stared at her hands. She didn't cry. All she could see was the cat, behind the tree, watching. Weeks passed. Life continued, but differently. Her father went to work quieter than before. Her mother prayed more. The house felt heavier, as if bad news had weight. One afternoon, Eleanor was outside feeding the chickens when the air changed again. The wind stopped. The birds disappeared. That same feeling returned. Slowly she turned her head toward the fence. The cat was back. Same place, same posture, same stare. Eleanor's stomach tightened. She didn't move, she didn't scream. She simply watched as the cat stood there, unmoving, like a statue carved from darkness. Minutes passed. Then the cat walked away calmly, disappearing into the tall grass. That evening, her father returned home early. Too early. He didn't even sit down. He had lost his job. Years of work, gone in one meeting. No warning. No mercy. Her mother cried at the table, her hands shaking. Eleanor stood in the doorway, her eyes empty. She already knew. That night, Eleanor dreamed of the cat. Not attacking. Not running. Just watching. Always watching. The third time, the cat changed its behavior. It rained all day. Water ran down the windows, blurring the world outside. Eleanor sat on her bed, listening to the sound of rain striking the roof. Then she sensed it again. She didn't want to look. But she did. The cat wasn't by the tree anymore. It stood directly outside her bedroom window, so close she could see the rain sliding off its fur. Its eyes glowed unnaturally bright. It stared at her. Not curious, not angry, but expectant. That night her father came home bleeding. A violent argument in traffic. A stranger. A moment of rage. Eleanor listened silently. The pattern was clear now. The cat appeared first. Then something broke. Then came the illness. Her mother grew weaker each day. Hospitals, doctors, long conversations whispered behind closed doors. A transplant. Waiting lists. Time running out. Eleanor stopped looking out the window. She refused. She closed the curtains every night. She avoided the yard. She avoided the tree. She believed something simple. If she didn't see the cat, it wouldn't come. One night Eleanor sat alone in the dark. Then she heard it. A loud meow. Desperate. Piercing. Again and again. She turned. The cat was there. closer than ever. Moments later, the door opened. Her father collapsed. Her mother was gone. The fourth time the cat appeared, something inside Eleanor finally broke. She didn't freeze. She didn't hesitate. She didn't feel fear. Only rage. A rage she had never known she was capable of feeling. The moment she saw the black shape near the tree, her chest burned. Her hands trembled. Every memory flooded her mind at once. Her father's pale face, the empty chair at the table, the quiet house, the sound of her mother struggling to breathe. The cat stood there, calm and unmoved, watching, as if it had been waiting for this moment. Eleanor screamed. Not words, not sentences, just a raw, broken sound pulled from deep inside her. She ran barefoot across the yard, the cold grass cutting into her feet, branches scratching her arms, but she didn't slow down. Her heart pounded so hard, she thought it might tear itself free from her chest. "You did this," she cried. "You took everything." The wind howled around her as she reached the tree. The cat didn't run, it didn't flinch. It only stared at her with those glowing eyes, unblinking, unafraid. Eleanor grabbed whatever she could find, a rock, a piece of wood she didn't even know, and raised her arm. Tears streamed down her face. Her body shook. For a brief moment, everything was silent. No wind, no sound, no breath. Then, darkness. Her body jerked violently. Eleanor gasped and sat upright in bed, air rushing into her lungs as if she had been drowning. Her heart raced, sweat soaked her clothes. Her hands searched her arms, her legs, her face. No cuts, no bruises. She was inside her room, safe. The curtains moved gently as moonlight spilled across the walls. The familiar smell of the house surrounded her. Her breathing slowed, though her chest still ached. It was a dream. Just a dream. Just a dream. Slowly, carefully, Eleanor turned her head. Beside her, someone slept, peacefully, breathing softly, alive. Relief hit her so hard it made her dizzy. Tears came again, but this time they were warm. She covered her mouth, afraid to make a sound, afraid to wake her, afraid that if she looked too long, the image would vanish. She closed her eyes and whispered a thank you to the darkness. Everything was fine. Everything was normal. Then she heard it. Soft, almost gentle. A single meow. Outside. Eleanor's eyes snapped open. Her body went rigid. The sound came again, right beneath the window.